In this unit, we'll take a look at William Ernest Henley's life and work. Henley lived and wrote during the Victorian era. We'll review his poem, Invictus, written in 1875.
So let's take a look at this poem. Let's do a line by line explication. Let's point out the literary devices, the poetic devices as we see them. Let's talk about the content, the symbols, the figurative language, etc., etc. So, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit. So he's telling us about the night. He's giving us a fact. The night is how he describes it. It's black as what? The pit. Remember that that pit is hell. Okay, from pole to pole. That means from end to end, from toe to toe. So out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. What's he mean there? Okay, I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. So we see that agnosticism here, whatever gods may be. Henley doesn't make certain that there are gods. He doesn't say that there are not gods, but he says, if there, whatever gods there are, I'm so glad. Thank you. So he's kind of showing some of the wisdom, the speculation of his time. We don't really know. There's no empirical evidence. So he doesn't want to say there's no God, there is a God, or whatever. He has found his place or of whatever gods may be. Thank you for my unconquerable soul. So he says that the night covers him. This black night, this blackness of night. Okay, and it's associated with hell. Okay, so he's talking about this blackness covering him. It's black as the pit. And what happens when something covers you in a feeling or something like that? Okay, so let's take a look at the next part here. Okay, but before we get to that, one other thing I wanted to mention. Notice how the first two lines and the last two lines move from this despair or this kind of negativity to a positive outlook. Okay, to optimism. So, out of this night that's covering me, it's so black as the pit from pole to pole. And then he moves to an optimistic tone. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. So he moves between these two moods or these two feelings, and he's going to do that throughout the poem. So let's look at the next stanza. In the fell clutch of circumstance, oh, I'm supposed to be keeping up. uh, I have not winced nor cried aloud. And okay, let's see if this stanza keeps up to that. So, negative, in the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. So we see it more of a micro thing happening here. So now we're moving from negative to positive within the two lines. Okay, so in the fell clutch of circumstance. Now let's remember that vocabulary word fell, like fierce. Okay, the clutch. Think about what a clutch is of circumstance. Who is doing the clutching? So, circumstance has clutched him or is doing some clutching. There's some personification there, right? Circumstance can't really do that, but circumstance is doing that figuratively. And he says, in the fell clutch of circumstance. So inside of the fierce and ferocious clutch of my circumstances, I cannot get free of this clutch, but I have not winced nor cried aloud. So he's moving from that negativity, like I'm locked into this clutch of my circumstance, and then he's being optimistic, or proud of how he has feared. I have not winced nor cried aloud. Take a look at the next two lines. Under the bludgeonings of chance. Here is more personification. Chance can't do any bludgeoning, right? But here it's doing so figuratively. My head is bloodied, but embowed. So these bludgeonings, he says, have bloodied his head, okay? But although his head is bloody, he is still how? He's feeling unbowed. He's feeling, still proud, unconquered, maybe. Going back to that word. Okay, so chance has beat me up. The circumstances is of my life have not been great. And under those bludgeonings of this chance, he's not blaming anything. He's just saying it's chance, that my life has turned out this way. And he mentions, I've been beat, my head's bloody, of course, from the beatings, the bludgeonings, but I'm bowed. I'm still holding firm. So let's take a look at the next stanza. The next two lines here, beyond this place of wrath and tears. So here's a little bit more despair, looms but the horror of the shade. Okay, so beyond this place of wrath and tears, what's beyond that? The horror of the shade. So there's all negative there. And let's see if it swings back. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. And he does that. So he says, this place is a place of wrath and a place of tears. And beyond this is the horror of the shade. What does he mean by the shade? He backs to this idea of darkness. Horror, shade being horrible or dark, right? So, what's beyond this place of wrath and tears? Let's remember where he is. Let's remember the things he's gone through. He's in this hospital. He is writing this testament of his experiences. Okay. What happens next after this surgery, after I recover? Okay, so he doesn't say, we don't know. And he says, yet the menace of the years. Okay, so a menace here. Let's remember what a menace is. What's he calling, saying it's a menace of the years? The years is the menace, or what's happening here? Is he saying that the years are going to catch up to him? And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. So the years are going to catch up to him. The menace of the years is going to find him, he says, undoubtedly. And how is it going to find him? That seems to be what he has control over. He doesn't have control over all of the negative things that are happening, but he has control over how he meets them. Okay, so yes, the night, out of this night, it's black as the pit from pole to pole. I'm still going to be thankful. My soul is unconquerable. I'm in these circumstances. I've not winced nor cried. Okay, so I'm in these circumstances, but this is how I'm going to deal with it. I'm not going to cry. So under those bludgeonings, I'm, dealing with this. My head's bloody, but I'm not going to bow down to it. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, I know that this is not a great place. I know what happens next after this. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. So this is how it's going to find me. I'm not going to be afraid. Okay. Final stanza. Let's see if it holds true. Is it going to talk about some, negative or dark imagery and swing back over to the light or optimistic side? So it matters not how straight the gates, how charged with punishment the scroll. So how straight the gate? What's that mean, right? How narrow the gate? Narrow the path. That's some more of that religious or biblical referencing. They say the path to heaven is straight and narrow, right? Or how charged with punishments to scroll. More of that. Right, so we see that Henley is talking about some of the religious sentiment that he may have. Okay, it doesn't matter how straight the gate or how much punishments I have to go through. And then finally, here's that positive twist. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So, through all of these not so great things, all of the negative things, Henley still finds some optimism and some positivity. And he ends the poem saying, hey, at the end of the day, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I am going to dictate how I come through this event. Now, a lot of people have related to this poem and have come to love this poem for the hope that it offers to the reader. Well, consider someone like a Nelson Mandela and the things that he went through. We know that this is his favorite poem. He said so. And maybe
We hope you've enjoyed reading William Henley's poem, Invictus, with us. Visit hsclearning.net to register for a course or see our current offerings.